Everyone. I know it's been a couple weeks since I did a video, but this week's video is actually really exciting. The reason that I haven't done a video in the last couple weeks is because I've been focused on uh, basically distribution, how I get Cortex out to all of you, and how that scales and how I support it and all that good stuff. So it's been a lot on the kind of the business side and less on the technology side. The reason for that is because Cortex is probably 95% of the way there. And the other 5% that's missing is realistically the unknowns, the things that I don't know that I'm going to have to uh, resolve, work through, without getting Cortex into your hands. Um, this includes things like how your particular authentication configuration is set up. Um, Obviously, I'm handling the vast majority of them. As long as you do OpenID Connect, we're in good shape. There might be a little bit of configuration to do. But if you're not using OpenID Connect, there are going to be some unknowns, and that falls into that 5%. And the other part of that 5% is content, right? Every one of you has unique content that's different from anyone else that's running Sharewell. And while the Sharewell demos are is a good example of the vast majority of what people will be using, um, everyone has something that's unique to their particular use cases and workflows and processes that I might not be expecting, right? I can only do so much based on the XML that I've seen. And there might be some things that I just haven't encountered yet. So, they're not unsupported because I don't want to support them. They're unsupported because I don't know that I need to support them. And that's how you can really help out is start trying Cortex out on your content. And if don't want to do it yourself, let's work together and do that. Um, there's contact information for me down in the video description. I also run a user group. That's really just a time that I set aside for you to talk with other people who are using Cortex or thinking about using Cortex. And that's every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And that's a Zoom call. And there's a link down in the video description to get an invite to that, to request an invite. You'll get that. You can add it to your calendar. You can invite, other people from your organization, other people from the Sharewell community. It's we've talked about a lot of good stuff at that user group. That's where I kind of floated the idea of what I was doing with authentication and got some feedback on how that was going to work. And ultimately, I built it the way I built it because of feedback that I got from that user group call. So if you want to be involved in how Cortex evolves and is developed, come to the user group. Again, link in the video description. All right. So all that being said, what does distribution look like? What does the future look like for Cortex? And how can you get access to it? Well, actually, another exciting update on that front is that we just officially have our first partnership. Excalibur Data Systems is our first uh, Cortex partner. We started working with them kind of informally. Actually, I started working with them a long time ago, informally. We've been talking. I've learned a lot about the Sharewell ecosystem outside of what Sharewell specifically did, but how um, Sharewell got deployed to individual customers and some of the challenges that they go through in each of those implementations. Learned a lot about the kind of the practical aspects of how Sharewell content has worked, and that formed a lot of the foundational assumptions that I put into Cortex in the very early days. So I'm really excited that we've formalized that relationship. They are officially a partner of Synapse Software, bringing Cortex to all of the people that they've worked with, um, and potentially will work with in the future. Um, Obviously, we're focused on the folks who currently use Sharewell and need some sort of tool for audit, archival, data retention purposes, that sort of thing. But as Cortex evolves and expands and continues its life, they'll continue to be a great asset to us and really help kind of drive the community and steer the direction that we go. So we're really excited to have them on board. Um, and with that, we're also expanding to other areas through our partners, right? Obviously, we're U.S. based and can't have a physical presence in other parts of the world, but the Sharewell partner ecosystem was worldwide. So we're leveraging both former Sharewell partners, current Sharewell slash Avanti partners, um, folks who are involved with Sharewell now because either they're helping people move off of Sharewell onto other platforms. We're actually working with organizations that have, I guess, technically competing ITSM products, and I can't speak to any details there. We don't have anything official with any of them, but we're trying to cast as wide a net as possible because we want to get Cortex in front of as many people as possible. And not just from the business perspective, but also from the community perspective. We're 100% community first. I firmly believe that one of the things that made Sharewell as great as it was and as loved as it was the community, right? Was the user groups, was the community forums, was the fact that anyone from any company that was using Sharewell could ask pretty much anyone else, hey, I'm running into this problem. Have you run into this and how did you solve it? And people would share those solutions. That's fantastic. That's something that we want to bring back. Um, Certainly from the perspective of helping folks offboard from Sharewell onto other tools, leverage Cortex so that their data retention is taken care of. And that was kind of the original impetus behind the Cortex users group on Tuesdays as well, was that community aspect. So partnerships are going to be a huge part of our go-to-market moving forward. Um, Again, because we can't scale as big as we need to, just on our own time and capital. We really need to leverage the partner community as much as possible. That helps us cast the wide net, worldwide. It also helps us provide better support to you all. So the partners tend to have a little closer relationship with all of the people using the tools that the partner set up for them, and can provide that support because they know, especially with Sharewell being as customizable as it is, they know how Sharewell was set up for a particular system. Um, we don't have that knowledge. So while we can certainly support from the Cortex side, and we can learn what all is going on in the content, we're kind of flying blind, and we have to figure it out on the fly. Again, certainly something we can do, but if we have that knowledge of why something was set up a particular way or how it's supposed to be working, um, why wouldn't we leverage that? So we're leveraging the partner ecosystem as much as possible. Now, that being said, there's nothing stopping you from coming directly to us. There's links down below. Again, mostly to book time on my calendar. Um, you can talk to us about setting up Cortex on your systems and using Cortex on your Sharewell database. That's not a problem if you want to go directly to us. It probably makes the most sense if you're in the US, just because we're also in US time zones. So we have more overlap there. If you're in other parts of the world, partners might be a better approach. But reach out to us all the same. While we're getting the partner program off the ground, um, reach out to us if there's a partner that we already have a relationship with or that we're working on getting a relationship established with. We'll certainly all work together to make it happen. Make sure that everything works time zone wise, language barrier wise, if that's even a concern. I know most of the world um, kind of treats English as a de facto standard, um, but I don't want to, ugly American party of one. I don't want to assume that. Um, so, if there's a language barrier, we'll definitely work with partners who can help translate. If that needs to happen. Um, and of course, there are other aspects of working across international lines. Financially, legally, all that good stuff. So that's another reason that we're looking to leverage partners as much as possible when it comes to the overseas and the worldwide aspect. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. Big things, partnerships. Um, yeah, we're pretty much 95% complete on Cortex. Um, that being said, if there's something that you think is missing from Cortex that you would like to see, let us know. Again, I think I've mentioned a few times in this video already. There's contact information for me down in the video description. I'd love to hear from you. Love to know your thoughts, and if there's something that you want to see happen in Cortex, let us know. Let's make it happen. Uh, Now, that does leave the question of what's going to show up in future videos. Well, now we're going to pivot the channel a little bit to more kind of demo oriented content. So, well, I guess it's always been demo oriented content, but how to use Cortex for use case X, or how to set up Cortex in this particular scenario, that sort of thing, as opposed to here's the thing that I built in the last week. I think I mentioned some of that in the last video that we were kind of pivoting in that direction. But now it's pretty much official. That's the direction that we're going. There may still be videos here and there of, I'll call them sneak previews of where we're going as a company. So not necessarily Cortex specifically, or if it's called Cortex still, it not Cortex from the archival perspective, because we do want to do more with the data that you have in your database. We want to open up doors for you. We want to explore other options above and beyond simply giving you access to static read-only data. So that's kind of a sneak preview in itself. So stay tuned for some of those. They might show up as just uh, picture posts on the YouTube channel. They might show up as full videos. Um, but either way, there's definitely more to come. So definitely stay tuned. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, like the video, um, and do all that good, community building, YouTube channel building stuff. Um, but yeah, there definitely will be more videos on the channel. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Um, Cortex users group, book time with me on my calendar, link down below. Lots of good links down in the video description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.